Welcome to the weekly poll. Today we've got myself, the comic historian. We've got Sal from Comic Pomp. We've got Joel from Comic Book Cast, aka the Capes Joel, aka a member of CTV. We've got Rob, no one cares. We've got Faust, which means fist in German, and he's from It's Super Effective. Rob just crossed 400K. Everyone thank him. Faust crossed 100K while he's gone too. Rob thank everyone, and everyone say congratulations. There we go. So Faust and Rob both just hit major milestones, and Joel got a hat.
I did get a hat, and it is a lovely hat. Thank you, Death Wish Coffee.
Yes, it's one of those Charles Bronson hats.
It's one of those. I'm going to be out there.
Based on one of his 15 movies.
I'm going to go out there tonight.
Our return, we are going to be discussing tomorrow's all-new Marvel releases. We have, I believe, 8 new comics coming out tomorrow, and we're going to talk about them, even though none of us have read them. We're then going to talk about Gotham and their portrayal of the Joker and what happened in that. So if you're the one person who cares about spoilers in Gotham, please don't watch that portion. And we're also going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and their portrayal of Lash. If you haven't watched it in a week, well, shame on you.
Yes. Before we continue, Eagles4201 has been subscribed for 3 months in a row. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eagles.
We love you.
We love everyone.
We love everybody equally, but we love everyone equally. We just think that some people are more equal than others.
We just think some people are better than others, you know?
And for the record, yes, none of you are blind. That is not Faust's twin brother. That is Faust with new hair.
Yes, he doesn't always have white hair, or blonde hair, or pink hair,
AKA
or blue hair.
But when he does, he's the most interesting man alive.
It's alternate skin Faust. It's like in a fighting game. This is like the alternate costume that was DLC. We had to get this one
like
special.
Faust.
This is
Cost
Faust
me
when
a
he's
goddamn
powered down.
$19.99 for just the hair change.
This is Faust when he's
Friggin'
not in a
DLC
Super
is
Saiyan
nuts
form.
now, man.
This is Faust embracing his AZN. I'll have an Asian Avenue profile this time tomorrow.
An Asian Avenue profile.
Trying to find the release.
Please tell me you've heard of Asian Avenue.
Nope.
Keep stalling. Stretch.
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
What's Asian Avenue?
It was... Okay, so before there was Facebook and MySpace, Asian people had Asian Avenue.
Oh,
And
that's right. Yeah,
Is it like a date?
it was basically Facebook, but only for Asian people. Like, you couldn't join unless you were Asian or half Asian.
Oh.
Asian
Wait, you're
Avenue.
half Asian? I did not know that.
Yeah.
AsianAv.log. See, I'm afraid that would take me to a really bad place.
To a bad place.
Asian
Wait, is
Av.
Is it still around?
There's a place called AsianAv.com. There's Asian Avenue Magazine.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Damn, this place was launched in 1997, man. That's AOL level stuff right there.
Nah.
You wouldn't believe
that's keyword. Yeah, make sure you guys check us out. The keyword weekly poll.
God damn it.
Keyword weekly poll.
Speaking of AOL, you would not believe all like the comic industry people that I've been talking to set up interviews and everything who have AOL emails who probably
That's when they created their accounts.
Yeah.
Trust me,
and
like,
they just
I remember
never changed it.
I bugged a whole bunch of comic book creators back in the 90s because I also had AOL, and like your screen name was attached to your email, and I would just blind IM people like Eric Larson. I was like, "You're Eric Larson. You make Savage Dragon." He's like, "I do. What's up?" And I'm like, "Ah!"
All right, guys. Now that I've actually should have done this earlier, but I didn't. Let's go ahead and talk. First up, Amazing Spider-Man #1 comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
Continuation of the Parker Industries storyline.
I am hyped.
Yep.
It's gonna be $5.99, but it's gonna be an extra like 60 pages. I know Slaw
all
was
right, then
defending
that's
this
fine.
on. Slaw was
Yeah, but
defending this
if it's like every other Spider-Man comic, it'll be a 20-page comic with 40 pages of additional storylines that don't matter.
That's
Oh, I
exactly
thought you
what
were
it
gonna
is.
say
Like,
it's gonna be
it's
like
gonna be
11
a zero
pages
issue.
of variants.
No, it's gonna be like a 0 issue. Like it's gonna be Spider-Man. Like it's basically gonna be like Spider-Man #0, and it's gonna launch the Spider-Man title, and then it's gonna have like a ton of other stuff talking about like Spider-Gwen and Silk and all that
Well,
stuff.
I thought
like,
that's
laying
what the
foundation.
point ones were for, because we're getting like an all new, all different point one, like little sampler.
No. Point 1 is for like all the titles. Like Spider-Man is for like the Spider-Man titles. But interestingly enough, nothing else gets that. The Inhumans don't get it. The X-Men don't get it. It's only Spider-Man and the Avengers.
So it just tells where everyone's at.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
like it just lays a foundation for their stories.
That sounds right.
Okay, I can see that.
It's like previous,
I could not care less about Iron Man, Spider-Man, but like, I really dug that first like. After you slog through the 11 pages of variants, you got like 4 pages of story, and it was kind of fun. It's Spider-Man and Mockingbird driving the spider buggy and like fighting bad guys in Tokyo. It had a very, I don't know, it was very stupid, but like kind of fun. Like it was just kind of like, all right, this is just popcorn. It's literal popcorn comic book fun, and Slott had a lot of fun like playing with a what would a rich Peter Parker do with the Spider-Man brand, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
He turned into a corporation to make money off of it.
Well, he did. Well, I mean, Doc Ock did that for him, and I love Spider-Man's attitude for it. Oh, Doc Ock made an entire empire. I'll just slip into that.
And he got me a doctorate.
I'm excited to find out like how he created an empire out of it, because after he took over, because he has a doctorate, he got his doctorate in like biomechanics or something, something that someone who builds biomechanical arms might get a doctorate in. Right. Parker has no experience with that whatsoever, so he has a doctorate in something he knows nothing about, and he's running a business which he can't even balance a checkbook. And last time we saw Parker Industries, it was
destroyed.
It was destroyed. It was
literally crumbled, and he was like, "Isn't Parker Industries us?"
Clearly. Clearly, he took the insurance money, went to the dog track, put it all on a 10-to-1, and from that built an empire.
Everybody knows that the dog breaks late. Like everybody knows.
Or he found money in arson, which
he found money in arson, like he burned it down.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking about the fact that we were talking about earlier how Iron Man is getting rid of Stark Tower, and I was like, oh man, maybe they'll connect that with Parker Industries. But in fact, as I understand it, Parker's buying the Baxter building.
Oh, nice.
It's probably meta.
Which apparently the only character that's going to like espouse about that is going to be the Human Torch, which is of course like amazing. Like I can't wait to see that because
hey, you guys, KLB Xavier has been subscribed for 6 months in a row.
Hey,
thank you, KLB.
Here's to you, man.
Yeah, everybody should spam emotes. You guys should just like spam
Caleb
a ton of
Xavier.
emotes.
How do you?
Oh. I thought it was Kale. Oh, it is Caleb Xavier. KLB Xavier.
All right, so up tomorrow we get Amazing Spider-Man, but we also have Avengers #0. So that's the way you're talking about, Rob, where they're going to set the groundwork.
No, yeah. Avengers #0 kind of like lays the groundwork and all that kind of stuff. Man, I don't. It's weird, man. See, this is Marvel.
What man? Yeah,
Marvel,
man.
You're killing me. See, this is a chance for Marvel to start off with a fresh start, and they're already doing stuff inconsistent. Like if you're gonna do like that's what I love about DC. All right, DC was like 0 years, 0 issues, like #1s, and Marvel is just kind of like, well, we'll do it here and there, and it's whatever. Like, whatever works.
To be honest, though, DC has done dumb things like
DC
Villains
is
Month.
like notorious for doing stupid things.
But Villains Month was
decisions.
I found it so dumb.
Brown Hornet 74 has been subscribed for 3 months in a row. Thank you, Brown Hornet.
It's actually Brow and Hornet.
No, it's not. It's Brown Hornet. My God, man. You know what?
Is Betty just going to be judging everything Rob reads from now?
Okay, like just so you guys know, like this was the entire experience in Baltimore.
Yes, was it?
Like what you're seeing for the last like minute and a half was like Baltimore over the course of like 3 days.
Oh, it wasn't. What it was Sal beelining for every booth, and you and me just kind of hanging back, being like, "Hey, man, blah 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 blah."
Yeah,
it was
going
me
to a
and Sal.
ComiCon. The two of you were certainly not interested in going to.
It was like me, Sal, Tiffany, and Natalie going to go see Mark Waid, and Benny like, "Whoa, where's everybody at?"
Yeah, we hit the floor. Let's segue into Baltimore really quick. Just like we hit the floor, and Ben and Betty and Rob are like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, let's go to the fucking convention." And then we were there for like half an hour, and they're like, "Well, we could probably go." I'm like,
We did not do that after half an hour.
In my defense, we did it before you got there.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, and Rob did it an entire day before you got there.
That's
so we had
true.
already
Rob
seen where everything was.
And the fact is that like the Baltimore ComiCon is a great place to meet creators and get books, but you could cover the floor in half an hour.
Yeah,
Dude,
well, that's just it. Like we'd already covered the floor, and then the only real creator I wanted to meet, you guys beeline for and never told me where he was. So I didn't even know where Mark Waid was.
That's not true. You wanted to meet Scott Snyder big time.
Yeah,
but I wasn't going to get in that line.
You're so
it's funny. What you should have done was just gone to his hotel room like we did.
Okay, like everybody in the chat right now, like don't listen to Benny. Benny was like, "Oh, I didn't want to wait in that line, dude." Me and him and Natalie sat there with David Fincher, and we got autographs for the
David Finch.
Whatever, man.
David Fincher's a movie director.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, you
Shut
met the
up.
director? I gotta hear this story.
David Finch is awesome.
David Finch was really cool, but we were sitting in line, we were waiting to get an autograph, and Benny looked over the Scott Snyder line, which was like 100 people strong.
It was
and
insane.
he's like, we should go wait in that line. And I was like, no, we shouldn't. We should not go wait in line. He was like, oh, come on, it won't take that long.
No, the
like,
fact is, if any one of you had agreed with him, you would have been in that line.
We would have been there. You know what we should have been?
Man's a rock star.
Well, okay, in my defense, though, as much as I wanted to go meet Scott Snyder again, I have met him like every other con I've been to, and I got like 10 things signed by him before he was popular.
Yeah.
Like when the line wasn't that long, so I have like all early Batman issues signed by him. There's CBC'd. I got everything. Not CBC'd because that's
CGC'd.
Yeah, there you go.
CGC'd. See, the good thing is we also got to David Finch at a really good time too, because
there was no one there.
Yeah, his first day, like the line was huge. It was nuts trying to get anything signed, and it was basically like Scott Snyder's line when he first showed up. And so by the time we got there, everybody got everything they wanted signed, and so we were like, okay, cool, like let's go.
Well, it's funny because you're neglecting because we went to go see the Situation with Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
And then I looked over and saw David Finch's line was empty, and I'm like, David Finch is there, Rob.
Yeah.
Like, let's go buy a book with his name on this sign. So the only thing I can think of that he's done recently was the Wonder Woman run.
Yeah.
Which he got so much flack for.
Him and his wife.
So I went over and I grabbed all the issues, and then Rob grabbed all of the same issues.
What all the issues?
Yeah, because they only had
Wonder Woman ever.
They only had like a handful of issues. Plus, I like the covers. Those covers were
no.
cool.
I actually liked their run with Wonder Woman. Now I will agree, Brian Azzarello's run was a lot deeper in the lore, and this went more with the Justice League Unlimited style Wonder Woman, where it's more wrapped into the real world instead of the Greek gods and stuff, which was okay, and I get why people are upset, but I did like the David Finch and his wife's run. So
and there's the fact too, I get the feeling that their hands are being tied currently on that book, where it's like, don't do anything too radical with Wonder Woman, because we're gonna reveal stuff about her in Darkseid War that might make all of this null and void.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they introduced Donna Troy, and that's what the whole plot is right now. They're just dealing with Donna Troy.
Dude, it's nuts. I was like, okay. I was like, Darkseid War is over, and they were like, Act 1. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's like a Shakespearean play. Are you serious?
Did you see the spin-offs they're coming out with? I mean, we'll get back to Marvel in a minute.
Special one-shots.
They've announced all the one-shots, like for Bat God and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Everyone's taking over the new gods, and Green Lantern will be awesome and great, and Batman will be a toolbox. Oh, and it'll be written by Jeff Johns, surprisingly enough.
I know, it'll be awesome!
Which, by the way, the identity of the Joker has been revealed, unless you're in denial. So I am hyped. Like,
that's bizarre.
Wait, it has?
Rob never told you this theory he was working on?
The theory that I have, the theory that I have, because all my other theories have been right. Like, you know.
I will give you
wait. Where did they? Did I miss an issue? Because last I heard, Batman was like, "That's his name." Oh my god! And then that was it.
No, dude, no, you missed.
So he said the true name of the Joker, and then he said that can't be true. And then the next issue, you see
in the most recent issue, Hal Jordan and Batman take off to look. Like, basically, they say like the Anti-Monitor was created when what was it? It was something to do with the Anti-Monitor and the Anti-Life equation, but like they're intertwined.
I saw that the Anti-Monitor's actual story finally.
Yeah. So basically, like the Joker was, it was like there was like at the end of the comic there was like laughing, something like that. But it was out of left field unless you were expecting the Joker. And so whatever, like there was some, basically what he said is when the Anti-Monitor was made, something else came out with the Anti-Monitor, and he's saying that that's the Joker.
Well, the book opens with the Joker.
Like that issue talking about like
image of the
So
Joker.
so what they're going into is the theory that the Joker is eternal and they're playing more into that.
But not from Dionysium.
Yeah, but then again, that proved out to be wrong though, because the Joker was normal and he was quote unquote killed, in the cave.
Maybe,
well, okay.
That
was a weird thing. Like what I got out of that was basically like the Joker had used Dionysium like when it became impure. Like he got to it after like Savage got to it, and after Ra's al Ghul got to it, and it had just like worn down. And Batman was like, and it was weird, but like that. I never thought I would actually see that. Like I thought they were keeping everything separate. Yeah. And when I was reading that Justice League, I was like, is Jeff Johns like pulling Scott Snyder's idea into the Justice League?
Oh, okay. No, I didn't remember reading this because I read so many comics. Yeah, he's supposed to be Gelos, the god of laughter.
Yeah.
Can we tell Faust about meeting Marv Wolfman?
Which, by the way, your stuff is on the way. Okay.
You spoiled the surprise. Rob sent all his stuff over to him.
Yeah, but he didn't need to know that you were sending anything.
We also got him the Woods signed by the writer. And it's addressed to you, Faust.
And Teen Titans from like whenever it was that Marv Wolfman wrote it, like an issue of the Teen
and it's
Titans.
A Starfire issue, if I remember.
Yeah, it's a Starfire issue. Like I was going through Teen Titans, and
are you trying to kill him, or are you trying to give him a heart attack?
Dude, no. I was okay. So we get to this like this random comic stand because we were like we got to grab something for Faust while we're here. So like we're all going through, we're all looking at different things, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go see if I can find like an old issue of the Teen Titans. And I asked him because I knew you really liked Marv Wolfman, so I was like, okay. I was like, Teen Titans, Marv Wolfman, like Faust is gonna flip his shit. So I was like, do you guys have anything from like Marv Wolfman's Teen Titans run? And they were like, yeah, over there. And I said, okay. So I started going through all that stuff, and I was like, oh my god, here's a Teen Titans comic that has Starfire. I was like, Faust is gonna flip. So I gave it to Sal because me and Benny had to take off. I was like, can you please have Marv Wolfman sign this if it's possible? And he was like, yeah. So actually, Sal was the one that got assigned.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So you know, he's a very friendly guy. He was collecting money for the Hero Initiative, which is a nice charity for you know, creators who don't have health insurance and stuff. It's a really cool cause. You know, so he took a donation for that.
We broke Faust.
And and it's signed directly to you, Faust. It's
Hyperion
not.
GT, thank you.
Well, and then on top of that, I was going through all the publishers trying to find information about like what we can do book-wise and stuff like that. And IDW, I think it was IDW. No, Boom was there, and they said, "Oh, we have the Woods book, but the writer is on the other side of the place." So
that's,
we got the book,
James
went over
Tynion,
there.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he apparently like was the last day, last hour, and he was like, "Oh, fine. Who do you want this out to?" And I wrote it. So he wrote a special thing to Faust on the thing, and
We hooked you up, man.
Aww. He's so touched. Look at him.
He's so touched. Are you gonna?
Well, you
cry,
can't come
Faust?
out here, and they're not going to ship Tinian or friggin' Wolfman over there. So
Oh my god, they are gonna do. They are shipping my picture though.
what?
Do that
No, but-
that giant canvas drawing. That I
Oh
bought
yeah.
of like
Is it there?
Ezio fighting Darth Vader. No, it
Oh,
hasn't.
nice.
It's supposed to be over here, dude.
There's
Okay,
there's this crazy mural, like the size of like,
It's
like a small
huge, man.
crappy car.
I wanted to get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, but it was like $1,000.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it
like
was
the
nuts.
price differential between what Rob ordered and what Benny wanted. I was like, because we're looking at this cool huge mural, which Rob will describe, but I look at it and I go, that's got to be like $300-400. And Rob's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
it was like $150.
And it was not. It wasn't even close to that number.
Yeah.
We were going into Comic Pop budget territory. That's how low it was.
But was
But no,
Rob
it's funny
making
to
it
see that
rain?
one,
'Cause
and
that's
Rob's
what it
like,
looked like.
Rob-
Oh no, he was basically like, no, he's whipping out his fucking wallet before they even tell him it's available for sale. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. That's mine. Like
That's
he's like
mine.
he was like
No,
Mr. Moneybags
dude.
in an art dealership. Yes, I'll take that one and this.
He's
It'll
the
look
king,
great in
and
my
I want
bathroom.
Rabbit in a snowstorm.
Dude, that
Yeah,
picture
It was
was
funny
the
because-
hits though.
Rob got this really awesome picture, and then they had this really awesome one about the four turtles and the original art style and everything. So I'm like, Rob, what was yours? And he's like, 150. And I go over there, I'm like, how much is the turtles one? Because if that's even close, I'm gonna grab that too.
Yeah, it
and
was
they're
also
like,
smaller, and
Yeah, it was
Benny's like, oh,
smaller.
it's $150. I'm getting that.
right. And then the guy's like, oh, well, we used a special type of coloring for this, so it's $1,000. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was like,
Was
screw
it
that,
colored
man.
in gold?
I know.
No, it was
I
okay.
glow in
Okay,
the dark.
so this.
See,
this
I'm always too awkward when something's too expensive for me at a convention to say, oh, that's too expensive, no thanks. I always say, oh, really? Well, I'm just going to go to an ATM and I'll be back later. So hold it for
Then
me.
you leave them forever.
leave
I'm
them
scared.
No, the best
for
part
telling
had to be,
people
though, when Rob and I found the BB-8s for sale at the Sprint store.
Oh, dude, Benny flipped, man.
I've been trying to get a BB-8 remote control thing forever now, right? The one we've been
Or
using
the
in our
big
videos was for is at Jason's store. So we go over there, and the Sprint store's like, we got a few here, and I'm like, I'll take two.
It was hilarious. Yeah, no. So okay, so this big mural, this big picture that I got is Ezio, like
The best
running over
assassin.
the head, the best assassins, running over the heads of stormtroopers, like with his knives drawn, getting ready to like attack Darth Vader.
On
And
the
Darth Vader's
Death-
like
In the Emperor's throne
in the
room
Emperor's
of the Death
throne room.
Star.
and Darth Vader has his lightsaber out, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that picture is amazing. Like I need to buy that painting.
Yeah.
And so like I ran over there and bought it, and it was
Like,
awesome.
see Connor pull that bull crap. Connor couldn't do it.
No
I don't know,
way,
crap.
Connor Kenway sucks.
He does.
Ezio was amazing.
All right, now that we're completely off base,
No,
next
we're
on our
completely
list
off
is
base.
Contest of Champions tomorrow.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
care at all about that.
You know, I'm kind of interested. Like,
If it's
I feel
about
like-
the game, I've been going crazy. I'm actually kind of
It's not
cheap in the
about
game.
the
though.
game.
If it's about the game, though, I spent $5. I got Abomination 4-star, and no one can beat me. I'm impossible to beat.
This is why I don't
I'm
play those
in-
games, because people like you who just pay money and then you get a million characters.
I am interested to see what role the Maestro plays in this. If this is, you know, like the next like chapter in that story of Bruce Banner, to borrow a term, turning heel, and this is
That's
like
true.
the evil Maestro, and this is what he's up to. Although it feels weird that that is like in a video game tie-in that he's going to be.
I'm telling you, it's a video game tie-in. Otherwise, they wouldn't have named it that.
Oh, of course,
So.
it's a video. Like, I mean, they've
Well, it's
that's what
also a
that's what they
throwback.
said.
Like,
they said it's
they're-
going to be a video game tie-in.
Well, also, like, Marvel isn't against using an old title from like a 30-year-old
Clearly.
book to sell something new. I mean, they do that all the time. The Maestro,
a whole
it's
event
funny.
about that.
Yeah, I am not against the Maestro coming back to the Marvel Universe, but having reread Future Imperfect for our episode of Back Issues a couple weeks ago, I was reminded how frustratingly hard to defeat the Maestro is, and what a total dick he is about everything.
No, but he's awesome.
him.
He's an awesome dick. Like he was.
He's the perfect villain. He's the perfect villain because he's 3 steps ahead of you, and he's also indestructible and unbeatable, and he's also a total ass about it. Like it's a phenomenal villain because you love to hate him.
And it was hilarious. But my question is, like, with the way Future Imperfect ended, like, how does he come back from that? Because, like, the way it ended, they were like, well, he's stuck in his own mind forever.
Well, they brought him back 2 other times. The first one, or not the first one, but one of the most recent ones, of course, is Secret Wars. He's there now. Yeah. And the other one is after the Heroic Age. Bendis did a story with John Romita Jr.'s art where they go to the future with Avengers, the Young Avenger team that isn't the Young Avengers. It's like a fake cartoon movie version of the Avengers. And the Maestro's there, and he runs that world. And Bendis like, yeah, continuity, who cares? Whatever, Maestro. I want to write about the Maestro, and I want to put these stupid Young Avenger characters in the movie.
Now, you assume, Rob, that it's going to be the same Maestro. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be the main world Maestro, or the main world Doc Green, who eventually grows and becomes Maestro.
You think it's like real Bruce Banner? Like Bruce Banner becomes the Maestro?
That would be pretty cool. Like,
of course,
because we've got to use him.
Because we've got Totally Awesome Hulk now, so Choi's going to become the new Hulk. So Bruce has got to go somewhere. Let him be a villain.
No, Greg Peck talked about that. Like when I talked to him,
because he was at Baltimore ComiCon.
When I spoke directly to Greg Peck.
To the man, when I looked
Did you speak to... Wait, Rob, did you talk to Greg Peck?
Yes, when we exchanged words.
Did you look into his eyes? Did you feel his soul?
When I looked into his eyes and saw his soul and connected with him on a level that I've never connected with another human being, we talked about Bruce Banner. And he said that's going to be one of the aspects of the new Totally Awesome Hulk, is that I guess Benny couldn't handle the awesome. Like, he just took.
He couldn't handle your special bond with Greg.
But no, one of the things he said is like that's going to be a major aspect, or not really a major, but it's going to be one of the behind the scenes aspects that will become prominent later on. Is why isn't Bruce Banner the Hulk, and where is he? So,
well, because if you remember at the end, he was depowering all the gamma radiated monsters. He kind of, sorta reconciled with Betty. But he also said he was dying, is the thing, too, because the extremists that gave him the amazing abilities to be Doc Green were also slowly killing him.
Yeah. I mean, in truth, though, and knowing Greg Pak, I'll be honest, I think there'll probably be a bunch of, I think we'll probably see, Joe Fixit come back. I think we'll see, different versions of the Hulk make the return, which, I mean, that was a cool aspect, and I felt like that was something that just kind of got shuffled to the wayside. It was the different versions of the Hulk. But no, I like the idea of having, all these intricate versions. But, at the same time, I do think it's time for a change. Bruce Banner's been the Hulk for decades and decades. And again, he is hard to write. But I feel like with
I thought Dickey did a great job with it.
Oh, he did. But the problem is Bruce Banner, all new, all different Marvel is basically Marvel relaunching things for the newer age, for the newer audience, for younger people.
That's fair.
And Amadeus Cho is young, he's hip, he's funny, he's exciting.
He's an Asian character written by an entirely Asian team, which is pretty sweet to think about.
I will say this, though. One thing that I do like about Marvel changing of all the characters, like Jane Foster Thor, Amadeus Cho Hulk, all these characters, is DC just kind of rehashes the same stories over and over and over. Oh, same story for New Generation. Superman's gonna die, get a bunch of powers. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And Marvel's all like, let's just change everything up. Let's have Faust involved.
And that's
Faust in the book.
That's kind of the kicker. That's how I explain it to people. When they ask about all new, all different Marvel and Secret Wars, and I just tell them, think about Secret Wars like a funnel, and all they did was put stuff through, and what came out the other end, and all new, all different Marvel was the stuff they wanted and the changes that they wanted to make. And that's the easiest way to think about it. But anyway, so on with the title. So continue on with the title.
Darth Vader number 10.
Yes, I'm psyched.
Loving them Star Wars books. They've all been really good.
Books are so good. Okay.
Okay, no. That's not a part of the all new Marvel. I was just joking because it's in between that and Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay.
But we're agreeing and saying all the Star Wars books are great and you should read them too.
On the subject of Star Wars, I'm not going to go far with it, but I just want to say, because Marvel has Star Wars, and because we're doing all new, all different whatever, and we got Contest of Champions and space crap, I'm okay if they want to merge them.
Oh, they are. They've already talked about that.
Could you imagine that?
I know that that's blasphemy, and 10 years ago me would have been like outrage, but today with battle droids and Dooku's and Darth Mauls and shit. I'm okay with Star Wars and Marvel crossing over. I don't want to make them part. I don't want like Star-Lord to legitimately go find Alderaan, but like I'd be okay with a crossover.
Imagine when Star-Lord walks into the Cantina bar and they're all like,
That'd be freaking amazing.
You know what I could see though? Knowing Star-Lord, he'd walk in and be like, "Where did I just walk in?" And he'd leave. And that'd be the crossover.
Like, this place looks gross. I don't need the money that bad.
Doctor Strange #1.
Yes.
cool.
Doc Strange needs a book.
Jason Aaron.
I don't know if he needs a book.
I'll
It'd
be
cool to
that
see
guy.
him with
I don't
him.
want it. It's pointless. It's stupid.
He's getting a movie, so he needs a book the same way every other character who got a movie needed a book.
Just
What
like we
I like-
desperately need a Civil War 2 around the time a Civil War movie will come out.
Oh my god. Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute because
We'll
that's
talk
funny.
about that in a minute. More
And
Okay.
I love how they're not claiming that it's a part of the Civil War thing, but it's like comes out in April. That's
Yeah,
convenient.
shut up.
Look at the
What?
timing on that.
Don't
See,
talk to
what I
us.
love about this Doctor Strange book, though, is that it's
Thanks,
literally,
Huff.
it's literally going through it saying, magic comes at a cost, so we're gonna just torture this character, and that's all it is. And I'm slightly sadistic, so I'm looking forward to it because of that.
Well,
mean,
isn't
it's
that like
gonna
his
be
character since the
badass.
beginning? Because he's always about the cost of his spells, cost of the magic.
Right,
Yeah,
but he never
except that it never
actually
costs. Yeah, it never costs him anything. Like anytime, like things hit the fan, he just goes and sits in the Arctic for 60 days and
You know,
fasts.
now it's going to cost him. Eventually, the hair in his mustache is going to start falling out, and he'll have to deal with that.
Now, if Doctor Strange loses his goatee, I will officially stop reading the character.
It's
Well,
That's
definitely
really
I
what
am hoping that we're going to see pretty much the fallout of him pretty much selling his soul for that ultimate power at the end. Because there was never any fallout to that. It's like he sold everything and then, oh, no, the world ended. Oh, well.
Doctor Strange,
I'm
the ultimate
kind of
collaborator.
hoping that they just drop it and give him a clean slate because
They probably will.
like you know what, he gave his life to save his friends. That's enough for me. Whatever.
Well, that's what I want to know, is how does this fit in? Because the last time we saw Doctor Strange, he got obliterated by Doom.
Well, I think everyone's gonna die at the end of Secret Wars, and everyone's
Yeah,
gonna
and then
be
it's gonna
like
get
resurrected.
I have a feeling Reed's not coming back, though.
Well, like I said, my theory
seen
is
anything
that
about it.
like Secret Wars will end with like Doom setting everything back to the way it was before.
Or
Right.
as close
It's
as possible.
literally going to be
That
House
is-
of M with the whole Marvel universe, and they're going to set it back and say no more like this group and that person and that team, and then it all goes back.
Yeah,
That is
that's what I
very
think is
Marvel,
going
though.
on.
Like, Marvel do these events, and they're like, oh, no, wait, that would change everything, so...
Yep.
we
I
didn't do anything about it.
I jerry-rigged the universe back together with some duct tape and some spirit gum. And oh, look, Miles is over here now. How did that
Maybe we'll
happen?
do it like House
Yeah,
of M
no.
style. Like he'll do boom when whoever's in the boom survives. That's how Old Man Logan and everyone gets
Well, like I
picked
said,
up.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense because I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I was going through and I was looking at the solicitations, like Franklin Richards, Valeria Richards, Susan Storm, they were noticeably absent.
Yeah, it's the whole Fantastic
Reed
Four
Richards,
outside of the cool ones that everyone liked.
Ben
But
Grimm,
it
Johnny
is
Storm.
Human
Yeah. I will say, by the way, really quick, Caleb Xavier made an amazing point earlier about Rocket and Chewie teaming up. Just wanted to say that out loud.
God.
Now I want to see that drawing. DeviantArt, take it away.
Yes.
But yeah, I totally think that at the very least, Reed will be more like a rumor. That we'll see Reed will be a big reveal at the end of some stupid event. Like Reed Richards will return.
Well, here's the funny thing. No Reed, the maker, clearly, though.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Ultimate Reed is
He's
sticking
a
around.
huge- Yeah, he's a major bad guy. Like
Yeah.
and he's a great bad guy. Like,
Okay, but
it's
where's he
possible.
going to fit in? See, that's the question. Is if they're going to keep
He's
the maker, where's he
going
going
to be the villain fighting the Avengers in the first arc by the looks of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's
I
going to
mean,
be the out-of-the-gate villain.
I didn't see anything to indicate that. Like he's going to be.
I saw him on the cover. He's on the cover of one of those books. He's like right on the... Yeah, he's like holding the Avengers in his hand. It's like, nah, villainy.
Villainy.
Because that's how all comic book villains talk.
He's got a monocle and
Genius.
everything.
Well, I know
Alright,
Kang has that
moving
voice.
forward, because I don't even know where we're going with that one. Invincible Iron Man, #1.
That armor is better than other armors I've seen, but it's not my. It looks so.
The only thing that I'm worried about this is it looks like we're going to continue with the secret origin of Tony Stark because he's going to go find who his real parents are.
I don't
which
give
once
a
again
crap
says we're
about
not
that.
doing a real reboot.
Yeah,
That was something
don't
that I
care
actually
about
hated was when they came out and they said like he's adopted. I was like, really?
Yeah, right. Like, who cares?
Well, that was my question with that whole thing. Like, what did
They're
it matter?
dead.
No one was like, "Oh no, the origin's gonna be weird." And
Yeah, like unless like his dad is Thanos, nobody gives a crap.
What if his dad is Thanos?
His dad is Thanos.
Like, his dad might as well have been Steve from down the road, who makes
Right.
quite good pies.
He's the
Like-
milkman. His dad is the
Oh
milkman.
god, you know how
offensively
awful
do.
that would be. If his
My
dad
guess
was
would
the
be
milkman.
he'll be like an alien, like it'll be Kree, and that's why he's so smart, or something stupid like that. Like that's the only thing I can
No, he's
imagine.
gonna be from
them doing.
Spartox with Star-Lord. They're gonna be.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
like my
they're
father's the
brothers!
milkman. It's like, well,
That's
your
a great
father was
idea.
always gone.
That's exactly what they should
You
do.
can
They
roll
should
that
make.
right.
Yeah, apparently he's also broke though, because they said they're gonna be dealing with him selling the towers.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Well, you know, I mean,
it's a place of a lot of bad memories and
But
stuff.
for the record, is it? Because I was thinking about this. Is it the first time that Tony Stark's been broke in the comics? Because I think he's been rich
he
for.
must
almost,
have
he almost
broken
lost his empire as part of the. God, Sal, what was that? The whole
Armor?
alcoholism.
Oh, Demon in the Bottle.
Bottle. Yeah, he almost lost the entire Stark empire because of Demon in a Bottle.
Yep.
So.
I mean, like he's definitely been brought down to his roots, so to speak, and they've made him. You know, they've definanced him before, but it's
Okay.
Yeah, it's never
I,
been
it just
like,
because
I
when they
have
said
nothing.
that, I was like, I can't remember when that's happened before. But there's no way that has not happened before. Like,
Well, every
no,
rich
actually,
hero
there's-
has
there's
lost their
never,
money at some
No, there's
point.
never been an instance where Tony Stark has been like, I have $0 in my bank account.
I mean, they
there's-
even tried to play with that during like the new Avengers arc when he's like, I can't afford to keep Avengers Mansion going, and it's like,
House of
yeah,
M,
but
yeah.
you can afford to build this this Trump-esque building twice.
I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned Trump there, Sal, because that's my theory on who his dad's gonna be. That it was actually Donald Trump, and that leads us into Civil War because Tony thinks I could get the Republican nomination,
Oh,
so
God.
I'll run for
Please,
president.
I
and
would
then
love to see that story arc of Stark for president is an amazing idea.
Marvel, pay me. I have a skeleton script already written. Just pay
They're
me.
not paying you shit. They got it now.
Yeah,
They
we
got
it.
it. It's out there in the ether. They'll just take it.
Looking through this though, I realized something. Is it just me, or does it feel like we're launching all new, all different Marvel a month earlier than intended?
We are.
2 months earlier.
Is it? So it is officially early because there's a lot of stuff still going here.
And
Well,
Secret
because-
Wars
well,
Yeah,
isn't
well,
because-
done
Secret
yet.
Wars is supposed to be over,
Yeah.
and it won't be for another freaking
was-
2 months.
Well, because
It was
I'm looking
supposed
at
to have ended
Spider
last month.
Island 5 of 5. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Old Man
it's
Logan
freaking-
number 5.
We have a whole series called Secret Wars TLDR where we read the tie-ins so you don't have to. And like, I think I'm gonna end the show because who gives a shit?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it going because I already started it, and I like Secret Wars so far, and that's.
But like,
that's
so many
why I
of them are
said-
ending. It's like we might as well just incorporate it into our regular reviews and just stop doing like a tie-in show because like
Oh, yeah.
all new, all different Marvel's the way to go.
Well, no. Because,
Can I be
well,
honest?
I mean, I
For the
can-
past
Yeah.
for the past few weeks, I just haven't bothered with Secret Wars. I'm just off the event completely because I don't
Faust,
care.
I am with you. I think there's 2 stories that I'm finishing off, and that is it. I'm done. Like everything else, I get them from Jason because I have him order everything for me, and it literally has become a game of Marvel, DC, and that's it. Like, and I just throw it all in the closet, and I just
Yeah.
throw it later.
Well, it's funny you're talking about books that are coming out. Secret Wars number 6 drops tomorrow on top of all the
Wait,
different
what?
numbers.
And
That's
that's
my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah,
because
Secret
I'm
Wars
looking
6
at
comes
this-
out tomorrow.
Yeah,
it comes out
Star Wars
tomorrow.
number 10. Because here's the full solicitation. We have Invincible Iron Man. We have the Marvel Universe Guardians of the Galaxy from the new stuff. We have Miracle Man. We have Old Man Logan, Powers, Shield, complete collection.
Which-
Like they're done. They're like Marvel is like, hey, we're relaunching. It's over. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
you're not. I'm looking at number 6. I'm looking at I'm looking at the other stuff. Like I can't even talk right
And all the
now.
writers too,
72
like
still
Dan
going?
Slott.
Yeah.
And all the writers
Fruit
like Dan
Fly was
Slaughter
coming.
running around and doing like damage control on Twitter, being like, "Okay, you can pick up the new books. We promise it won't spoil the end of Secret Wars."
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if they're smart, it won't even refer to them at all. I'm sure the books will just open like there was never a Secret War to begin with. That's why they're secret.
I mean, that would be
So secret.
that would be the smart decision to make, but I doubt this is a decision that will be
No,
made.
I have no
because-
doubt there'll be no reference to Doom. There'll be no reference to Richards or a war. The only thing that you'll see is in Contest of Champions. Like Maestro will be like, "No, Doom thought he could stop me, but no." Like that'll be it.
Or maybe there'll be a ton of
I
references.
feel
Maybe-
like there's a couple more titles coming out tomorrow, but my list is short here.
There's a huge amount of titles, but I
No,
don't-
there's
yeah,
literally
they're all
8 coming out tomorrow. There's a whole bunch total.
Yeah, no, there's
only-
not that many coming out tomorrow. There's only like 4 all new, all
I
different.
wanted
Marvel
to say there
titles
was
coming
8,
out
but
tomorrow.
maybe I was wrong. Maybe there was only 6 or something like that.
There's only a handful.
Oh, and by cold, no, Uncanny X-Men or X-Men 600 got delayed again. So
again.
sorry, buddy.
Yeah, see, for those of you guys who are just now getting into comics, like imagine this, like now happening, except that it goes on for a year, and then we call it Civil War.
Or any event.
Or any
Oh,
event,
okay, yeah. So I mean, that's all of the all new Marvel tomorrow. All of those I kind of want to pick up. Even Constance Champions. I want to see what they're going to do.
Yeah,
with
no,
Maestro.
there's like 2 or 3 good titles coming out tomorrow for like at least 2 or 3 good titles that
But then you also have 1602 Witch Hunter Angela #4. We also
That's
have.
awesome. That book is
okay, and see,
underrated,
here
guys.
was a kicker. Like I did Spider-Gwen because I was like, well, maybe I'll do Spider-Verse, and I got on Twitter. I was like, does anybody care about Spider-Verse? And like 99% of people were like, nope. Don't really care, and I was like, well, then the hell with it. And we're just like,
Well, you better.
Well,
better
it's funny
care about
because in the last
Spider-Verse.
couple of months, I've really toned down on the Marvel because there hasn't been much to promote for Marvel because they're doing
Exactly.
Battleworld, and everyone's like, and it's funny because I even tweeted out like, hey guys, I'm kind of sorry I haven't done very much Marvel lately. Secret Wars and Battleworld have kind of steered me directly into only DC right now.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, we don't care.
That's fine. Just keep
Can you
doing-
do the rest of Iron Fist? That's all they've asked me for. The rest of
Yeah,
Iron
they're
Fist.
like,
It's
we don't really
hilarious
care.
because almost a year ago we were dealing with Convergence and being such a cluster F, and Secret
We all
Wars
did a lot of Marvel.
and Secret Wars being so awesome, and now we got Darkseid War, which is so awesome, and Secret Wars, which is just so boring.
Yeah.
And like, what the crap, guys? Like,
This is comics. It's up and down. It's
Well, for the
friggin'
record,
life.
I'm going to say this right now. I have a weird feeling the way that they're doing Darkseid War, it's going to drag out to the point where we don't care like Secret
no
Wars.
question.
Can I
If
just
they were
say?
smart, it would end now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I love how Image is just taking advantage of Marvel and DC at the moment? Like, we're just going to keep putting out stories and build ourselves up, and ta-da, big 3.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like there was an interview that Todd McFarlane did where he was talking about that, and he was like, let me tell you something. He was like, you don't have to be like have like the #1 selling comic to be the best publisher. He was like, if your comic is ranked number 200 and nobody cares about the other 199, you've got the best comic book in the country.
That's right.
Or in the world. And I was
Well,
like,
honestly, I think that's
true.
what Valiant's doing right now. Valiant's doing a really big push right now. And honestly, because of DC with the DCU, like, oh, we're going to do all this cool stuff. And now they're abandoning it. So I feel betrayed by DC. You know, and then Marvel doing what they're doing. I've been like, Valiant, Ivar, X-O-Man,
Dude,
War.
oh my god. Okay, so my shipment from Valiant came in, dude. Like I was reading through some of these, dude. Valiant's killing it in their publications.
Valiant is awesome.
Dude, they're doing really solid work.
Jim Shooter would be proud.
Like they're doing the Lord's work, and it's pretty badass. But no, okay. So here's a question for the chat. Do you guys care about Secret Wars? Like, do you even care how it ends? Does it even matter to you?
If you want to keep reading your comics, they keep telling us we have to care, but the more and more I look at it, the more it seems like looks like I don't have to read Secret Wars to
but
pick
no,
up
yeah,
Final
that's
Fantasy.
how
Well,
Marvel-
that's why I started just shoving all Battleworld around. I'm like, I don't care. Battleworld doesn't matter, obviously.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if most of the chat, if not more, and our commenters after this episode airs, are just waiting for us to tell them what happens.
It actually
You
kind
know
of
how
looks
many people
like
I get that tell me they're like,
split.
when are you going to do Secret
Yeah.
Wars? And I'm like, it's not even done.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
I know it's
and,
been
and
going
that's,
for a
that's what I
while.
might do. I might just wait. I might just be like, hey guys, like we're gonna finish Secret Wars when it ends, and like I might just wrap it all up into one video. And be
That's
like,
what we did
love
with
that we're gonna
Convergence, and it was such a better idea.
Don't you
I
love that we're
did-
gonna have to wait till December for it to all
Yeah.
end? So we're gonna be sitting around Christmas dinner and be like, "Hey guys, I got the final Secret Wars right."
Yeah. Oh man,
I did
that
a
fight
video-
with the
Christmas podcast.
Yeah.
Let's
I
gather
think,
around
like-
the fire, everyone. Drink our eggnog and read
Yes.
it.
So
Let's
like a
roast
few
some
months ago,
chestnuts.
a few months ago, I made a video on A-Force thinking, yeah, everyone loves Secret Wars at the moment. I'll make this. No one cared. No one cared. Like no one cares about Secret Wars in terms of views, at least.
yeah.
Yeah. And what's great is you're gonna have the end of Secret Wars is gonna be a double-sized issue,
Yep.
which
An
features a
extra
fight,
issue. Yes.
which features a battle between two characters that will not be present in the all-new, all-different Marvel. So like, this is gonna be
Yeah.
Reed Richards versus Doctor Doom, two characters you're never gonna see again for the next 5 years. So it's like, yippee.
At least
Yeah.
Hickman can give them a send off, though. At least he cares about them. It's like, look, this will be their last hurrah.
And I think what helps is that Secret Wars is also really competently made. At the very, like, you know, like, anyone can just, like, oh, forget it, who cares? It stars Telos, and it's drawn by 9 different people. But in this case, it's written by Hickman, it's been drawn out and plotted out and planned, and Ribic really does a nice job. It's too bad it just takes him 3 months to do one book.
You mentioned Telos. Telos is also getting a book.
I know he's getting his own book. How is that possible? what jokester has disposable income to burn on a Telos book as a joke?
They
Like,
will
that's-
finally answer the questions of who is
Who
Telos.
is Telos? I can't believe that they had the audacity to end that stupid, unnameable event that is available for 70% off in bargain bin. There was at Baltimore ComiCon. There were long boxes filled with convergence. It just said,
Oh my
convergence!
God. No, we
make an
saw that.
offer!
Me
There were
and-
3 long boxes. Make an offer. I'm
Yes.
like, no!
Dude, that's like when it really hit home, because me and Sal were walking around, and we found it was that one comic book stand.
Yeah.
And it literally was. It was just like 1, 2, and there were multiple issues. It was like
Oh my
10
God,
copies
all
of
the
number 1, 10
tie-ins, the
copies
main
of number
book,
2. Yeah.
there were multiple copies, but
And
like,
none of them had been sold. It
if
was
you
like-
had skipped Convergence, you could literally just read everything by Convergence from these 3 long boxes for probably about $10.
You know, my offer
Well,
would've
like,
been
there's
for the
one
guy.
there's one positive to that. They're clearly not doing it to make money.
Right?
Yeah.
At least they're doing it to entertain.
You know, my offer would have been to the guy, okay, tell you what, how about you turn around for like 2 minutes, and when you turn back, some of these will be gone.
I mean,
But
like,
dude, I'll take these comics off your hands. Like, dude, you could have them, man, because I'm not going to make any money anyway. I don't want to carry them home.
All right. Enough bashing on all of these events, because Secret Wars, Convergence, and blah, 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 blah. We do have a timetable to keep. So that's all of our books for All New Marvel. We
Yeah.
all agree Secret Wars is just going blah. We don't give a crap anymore.
I mean, I'll finish it just to have
We
it finished.
say that until we'll read the new issue tomorrow and be like, this is amazing,
Oh
our
my
faith is
God!
restored.
Oh, unless something Jesus happens, like I'm just gonna plow, like just grind
It
through.
might
What
No,
if
Finish it,
Jesus
call it a day.
actually happened in Secret Wars?
Jonathan
Then
Hickman's
I
like,
would
Jesus
care.
has come
He
down.
appears. Hello, my
Jesus is a
dude.
human.
Jesus is the
He comes down to Cyclops, I am the way and the light, my son. You
Oh,
believe.
okay. Before we transition off of Marvel, that's gonna be one of the big points of like several of the X-Men books is what happened to Cyclops, which
Right.
is an indication that Cyclops isn't dead. Like he's gonna be coming back. So
No, I think it's
Can-
just
can
going
we
to be
just
the
talk
younger
about-
They
is
want
all
to know
it's
what
gonna
happened
be.
to him.
Can we just talk about the X-Men books quickly? So, like, before Secret Wars started, they were like, after Secret Wars, don't worry, the X-Men are still going to be around. They're not being replaced by the Inhumans. They'll still be in the main Marvel universe.
Right.
Now we're finding out that not only does the Terrigen Mists kill the X-Men, they're having to leave the main Marvel Earth to their
Yeah.
own safe haven. So
How
they
meta.
are going to be separated from the rest of the Marvel universe.
see,
They got to
you know
go
what
to
the best part
Planet
about this is,
Fox
Faust?
where they can be safe over
Yeah.
on the Fox planet.
Wait, here's the best part, though. If you look at all of the X-Men teams, they've all been interjected with other people who are like Inhuman or like obscure X-Men that you don't really know what they are anymore to try and like basically disseminate the teams.
You know why
Also,
they- you know why
probably
they
so
did
that
that?
some of them will die from the Terrigen Mist, so they'll be like, "Oh, this is serious business. We got to get on the Blackbird and go to Asteroid F."
you know why they did that, right?
What?
Because even if the X-Men comics weren't necessarily selling the best, 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing.
Oh, that's
And
right.
fans-
No, they
and
sell.
fans were like, if the X-Men are off in their own world and it's just stories about them and they don't act with anybody else, like I'm not gonna buy it. And
Yeah.
so like they were like, well, I guess we just gotta throw them in with something, you know? Because I mean, even if you only see him interacting, like Wolverine, for example, is a perfect example. Old Man Logan is going to be traversing around this new universe and meeting
Yeah.
people and like introducing us to stuff. You know, I mean, they could have just kind of shuffled him off in his own corner. But
It's such a shame too because they passed the books off to a lot of writers I really like Jeff Lemire and Tim Seeley, and I would love to see them, work on a book that doesn't feel like an afterthought at this point. You know,
And the problem with the X-Men overall, though, is, and it's the problem they've had since the 90s, they're not relevant. They're from a period, the segregation, all that stuff doesn't make any sense. People hate the X-Men, but they love Captain America. That's always been an issue, which came to the forefront in Avengers vs. X-Men, and it still hasn't been resolved. Like, the X-Men don't fit in the rest of the Marvel universe.
yeah.
Like,
well, they had a chance to make them fit with Civil War, but they didn't.
right, that's what I mean. Like,
issue-
you could have made them, people finally started caring about them, but they don't.
I mean, like, the X-Men have always been the reason why I read Marvel. Like, they're my introduction into Marvel, and they're, like, I'm gonna, like, if you made me choose X-Men or Avengers, I'm just gonna choose X-Men every single time. But, like, I don't know, like,
What
for
about
me,
Inhumans? Where do they come up?
they can fuck off.
Well, that's that. He said the Inhumans suck, and that's just all there is to it.
That's right.
I mean,
that-
not all of them suck. The two that used to be mutants are cool.
Yeah. But he's got a
God.
rat new costume where he's a fast forward. He's
Yeah, he got the fast forward sign, and Scarlet Witch is going to have like a series of standalones.
She
like,
is getting her own book.
All the comics are standalone. Like
Yeah.
every single issue is like a one shot basically. I'm sorry, Faust. Go ahead.
Like, I don't know. For me, it made sense that they were in the Marvel Universe, because I always just read it as, yeah, people love Captain America and everyone because they used to be humans, but now there is a public list of who is a mutant, and they're like, oh crap, these people are mutants. they've got powers that they were born with these powers. These people think they're special. They think they're better than us. But I think that's like, I think that's almost a cultural thing, because I know over here in England, like, it's very much like, if you say, "Oh, I'm talented in this," people are like, "Oh, so what? You think you're better than me?" Like, and people get really.
And the response is, "Yes, I am."
So everyone in the Marvel universe is a chav. Oh, you think you're better than me? Everyone is that guy in the Marvel universe. Oh, what?
Pretty much.
You think because you were born with magical healing factors, you think you're better than me? You're not better than me.
Just because your skin's gold doesn't mean you're better than me.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
you can slice off a finger and be worth a whole bunch of money.
So basically, people from your neck of the woods are also people from Queens. Oh, you think you're better than me?
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here, you mutant.
Yeah, mutants.
Let's roll over to our next topic. Okay, so that's all new Marvel. We're all excited about it. We'll probably go over all of the new releases for the next 2 months when all the new stuff rolls out, so we can go over our theories on it. While our first week is awesome, me and Sal and Rob did a thing today, which is going to be up on my channel. I'm not trying to promote it, but we discussed everything that's coming out. And there's definitely some on there that that was kind of funny.
We're just kind of like, nah, don't care.
So the next topic is going to be Gotham. So if you have not caught up in the episode, you stayed off of Twitter, you stayed off of all of the news articles that are discussing it.
Yep.
I'm going to give you 2 seconds to mute the podcast for probably 10 minutes, because that's about all we're going to get. Because I think
Gotham.
1, 2, let's go.
I think this just might be you and me, Benny. I think
it's just you and me. But the whole idea, what I want to go into with this discussion for Gotham, is the portrayal of the Joker. So
boy.
Gotham's been hyping up the rise of the villains, that we're going to have the Joker, blah, 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 blah. 3rd episode's into Gotham. The Joker died. He got stabbed in the neck. That's the end of that. But he's not the Joker. He's a guy named Jerome, and it looks like he's inspiring almost like a Joker cult.
Because Joker is not a man. Joker is a state of mind, don't you know?
Dude,
I
know. It will solidify
So
my
are they
reason to not watch
playing with
the
the idea
show.
that like Joker is like Batman?
Yes.
Before Batman inspired Gotham, the Joker inspired Gotham. That's why it's all messed up.
Exactly, and that's what they're playing off of right now. They're going off of the idea that like anybody
idea.
can be the Joker.
They
Except
don't execute
Joker-
it well.
Except, why are all the Batman villains 20 years older than Batman?
I know, right? Here's my favorite thing about Joker Kid Jerome. He shot up the police station one episode. He held a whole room full of rich people hostage, and I'm like, he is a little boy. Tackle him.
Right.
He's shooting people with this big gun. I'm like, that would break your fucking arm.
I think they implied that too, because they showed a whole bunch of adults laughing and going crazy, like Jokerized. But there's a kid also, and I guarantee you that kid's who they're implying is going to be the real Joker. You know.
You know what? I bet you the next time the show's in a rating slump and they need something to boost it. Hey, here's another Joker we didn't tell you about, everybody. Yeah. He's new and different.
Well, it's going to be interesting, but like overall, what I wanted to get at with this whole thing is like, why does the Joker need so many origins and retellings, and like the whole thing of Joker being a god now, Joker being immortal, Joker being, you know?
It's because people are dumb and they can't just can't just let it sit with, we don't know who the Joker is. That's the point of his character. Everyone's like, who's the Joker? Like, it's
Wolverine was great when we didn't know who he was. When they finally gave him an origin, it's like, well, no, I don't care.
For me,
and people don't learn from that. It doesn't work. When you give a character that was made so you didn't know who they are an origin, then it ruins that character.
It's because every writer wants to be that person to be like, yeah, I know this character doesn't have an origin, and that's the way up, but I'm going to be the guy to write the origin.
Everyone thinks that they're going to be the next Frank Miller or the next Scott Snyder. Everybody thinks that they're going to be the ones to contribute to the zeitgeist and make everything make sense because of the prequelization of our culture. Everybody's got to tell a reboot or a prequel or there are some questions that nobody friggin' asked and nobody needs to know, because that's not how stories work. If the story was told, that's all the interesting stuff. It's like when Lucas was making the Star Wars movies and he's like, I'm going to start here because this shit is boring. Who cares? This is the part where the story starts. And guess what? He's right. And with the Joker, like, why do you want to learn about the Joker being a kid or like meeting girlfriend and like having erectile dysfunction? Like, nobody cares about that shit. What matters is this dude who was a loser, who fell in acid, who was not unlike Anakin Skywalker. Now that I think about it,
no one cared about me before I put on the mask.
Nobody cared about you before that too, Bane. You're boring and stupid.
Yeah.
You know what? Bane sucks. But like,
but he's a Mexican wrestler though, with a code of honor.
But like, let me tell you, like, the best version of Bane for me was Arkham Asylum, the video game, because then the Joker like defeated him and called him Has-Bane. Because he because he only existed in this pocket of 90s where like, no, big monster guys, right? Doomsday, here's your Bat Doomsday. Like, that's where Bane came from. Bane is a Batman Doomsday.
Secret Six is the best version of Bane, where they make him like, man, I suck. I peaked way too early in my career.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that exploration of the character. But my point about Joker is just like, Joker exists in this. Here's the thing: Joker's the most interesting Batman villain. I'm sorry, Professor Pig fans, but Joker's the most fun character to see.
I genuinely do like Professor Pig, but
he's fun. Like, look, he's a neat concept. Who cares? Like, the point being, you're gonna want to see a Joker fight. Like, and everyone that you get, like, you'd be surprised how many are so lame. And it's because really, really good Joker stories are few and far between, and prequel stories about the Joker are really boring and stupid, and who cares?
Well, the TV show was doing a great job of setting up Jerome to be the Joker, and then I thought they were doing a great job. The way he was acting and everything.
Okay, like, I will say he was one of the brighter spots on the show because he played it right. He did,
yeah.
He's like, yes, I'm hammy, yes, I'm chewing the scenery, but we're in a comic, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. He acted like he would picture the Joker, like in an alternate universe where the Joker wasn't Red Hood, and he was becoming a villain. That's how you would have pictured him. And then they killed him off, and like, I honestly would have liked it better if they just kept going with that, and then ended the season with him dying. Why did we go 3 episodes in and like, the thing you've all been watching for?
That's weird. I don't know why would they would do that.
They keep doing it because they basically gave him 2 episodes on a silver platter where it's like, hey kid, show your chops, show how good you are. And he did. And then they killed him. And they did the same thing with Sarah Essen where it's like, okay, here's your big moment. Show everyone why you're worth it. Oh, and you're dead.
Yeah.
They even set up Barbara Keene to be like the Harley Quinn of this universe.
Yeah.
She was doing an okay job.
She hit a dude with a mallet in the last episode, and she's wearing red gloves, so yeah, I guess she's the Harley of this show.
I mean, it could be that they had a plan. I mean, like, here's the problem with TV, and especially Fox, and comics, and DC, and their decisions. Like, it could be that they had a plan, and then DC movies were like, no.
We're putting him in Suicide Squad, you're not allowed to use Joker anymore.
And also, like, particularly, I've noticed in DC TV shows, which is the reason I don't like most of them, is they're ashamed that they're making shows based off of comics, but they want to base the shows off of comics.
I agree with all the other stuff. The Flash is better.
The Flash is a celebration of comics. I'll admit that. But DC in other media, or Warner Brothers really, are the ones who are the apologists. They're like, I'm sorry, we ran out of Harry Potter movies. I'm sorry, we got to do a Superman movie. We won't call him Superman, okay? Here he is.
He won't have his underwear on the outside, we promise.
Oh, you're right. It's almost like WB is scared to get on board at the superhero train, but they're like, what is Marvel doing? Why are they doing this?
Well, they also just don't get it. They're like, well, why do you like this crap?
I mean, did you hear what they're doing with Dark Universe?
They're not doing it at all.
Well, they are doing it.
Oh, they are,
Del Toro isn't writing or directing it anymore. They're getting a new person in, but they're refusing to release it under WB because it's too experimental. So all Vertigo-based movies now are being moved to New Line Cinema.
That's probably the best.
They're too scared that if they fail, then that's a mark on WB forever.
For me, I would like to see them do that. Not necessarily like, show that they're ashamed of them, but more I want to see them take a really cool property and put it someplace where a bunch of dedicated people who give a crap are just going to make something cool, and DC isn't going to be like, oh, hey, whoa, that character there, I want to use them in that Justice League movie that I'm doing over here. Like, you can't do this, this, and this because I'm doing something.
Well, we all remember the Bat embargo, right, from the Justice League, when that cartoon couldn't use any Batman-related characters because the Nolan trilogy was working out.
You had 2 great cartoon shows. You had Teen Titans and you had Justice League. You could never see Robin show up, and you could never have Batman show up in the other one. That was really frustrating. What's the point of having a parent company that owns everything
if you're not allowed?
Okay.
Well, what irritates me most about that whole thing, though, is, like, if it's in the same universe, fine. But they're very clearly like, this is Flash, this is Flash,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so why can't we have Joker, Batman, It's like they're worried about oversaturation, but some characters they don't care about.
I think they're worried about confusion.
But, like, the most frustrating thing about the Teen Titans TV show originally it was going to be the Teen Titans cartoon and then the Batman cartoon.
Yeah.
They were in the same universe originally. And then the Teen Titans cartoon got cancelled as the Batman was renewed for season 2. So then they had to create another Robin for the Batman, but because they'd already planned it, so Robin was already a thing, Batgirl was introduced before Robin, and it was so confusing.
That was really bizarre.
Well, here's the kicker with the Joker and his whole origin thing, especially like when it comes to the TV show Gotham. Like the best comparison I can make is Wolverine. Like, there are more people that watch Gotham than there are people that buy comic books.
Yes.
You know, and so when they
dwindling,
made,
though.
yeah, it's dwindling, but when they made X-Men Origins Wolverine, like, that was, here is the origin of Wolverine. The problem that Marvel had is they never had a definitive origin of Wolverine. You never knew how he grew up.
Are you talking about that awful movie?
Yeah, that terrible movie.
There was a comic
book
long
came out
before
about a
No.
decade before that movie.
No, they never identified him as James Howlett and never explicitly stated that he was from a family farm.
Yeah,
did.
there's a whole book that came out in 2000 with his actual origin.
What? Okay,
Called
what book was
Wolverine
it?
Origins.
It's literally
one-
called Wolverine Origin.
The one that came out in 2010?
Yes,
No.
we're 10 years off. The Wolverine
2000.
origin came out in 2000 or 2001.
No, the movie Wolverine Origins came out in 2009. The one you're talking about, the book Wolverine
To
Origins, came out in
Wikipedia.
2010.
Rob,
I guarantee you it came out in 2010.
Rob, there is a
Chat,
book, Wolverine
please.
Origin, that definitively gave an origin for him in 2000.
Okay, yeah, go look at Wolverine.
The scene
Hold
in the
on.
movie you're referring to is there's literally a scene where he like has red robes and he's like no, and he's got his claws. That's ripped straight from the comic.
We're Googling this now
Let's
to
move
settle
on.
the argument.
I'm pulling up the original.
It's 4 against 1, and the chat knows it too. Make another point.
Rob, his origin was revealed in 2000. It's old
They
as
had to
shit.
do that because that was a Quesada Gemis decision because they were making X-Men movies and they were worried that the people in the movies were going to make the origin for Wolverine before the comics. And so they called Paul Jenkins and they're like, Jenkins, can you please do an origin for Wolverine? It's got to be great so that we do it first. And then they did. And that's where origin came from.
And basically the origin is that he was a sick child who was
He
fighting
was a
off all
sickly
kinds of-
boy, yeah, who was also the bastard son of the like plantation of the groundskeeper.
Yeah.
Right. And then they wrapped him in with this character Dog. Now Dog was he ever confirmed to be Sabretooth or just
No, he's not Sabretooth.
Okay.
He got brought to the future and he got to like join the Hellfire Club for a little
Yeah,
bit.
he
as their
became
gym
their
teacher.
gym
Maybe I am. Like, I thought I was right. Like, I really thought it came out in 2000. Like, I could have sworn there was never really like a definitive origin. I mean, there's a whole series. There's 50
that
issues called
movie-
Wolverine Origins.
No,
Yeah.
the original is a 6-issue miniseries.
Yeah.
Well, the one I'm looking at came out in 2006.
They made
3
a
years before,
sequel called Wolverine Origin 2, and then they made Wolverine
Because
the End.
the first one still sells like crazy, and they keep reprinting it.
Yeah, I don't know. I never read the second one, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the sequel about? Origin 2, more Origin.
Well,
Origin 2. I guess it's him in the woods. I don't know.
Well, see, I can see where there would be a sequel because in the original one ended with him. He'll never know his true origin because the book is burned.
Yeah, because the
He's
book
in
burned,
1800.
and he has no and the wrinkles in his brain.
Oh yeah, you're
get
right.
fixed.
It's
Yeah,
it was-
so
it was
basically
called
he
Wolverine
had a girl
Origin.
that
It
took
was
care of
released
him.
by,
I can't remember if he killed the girl or if she died some other way.
He killed her. Let's spoil this beautiful book.
Yeah,
he
no,
killed-
the one you're talking about, the Wolverine Origin, was made by Paul Jenkins, and that came out in 2006. That's the one that you're talking about.
It came out sooner.
Yeah.
How about them Knicks, eh?
And yes, Cyanide, I did do Wolverine Origins on an episode of Back Issues.
I haven't done
gonna be
Wolverine.
doing-
Good episode. You should watch it.
Thank
I liked that one.
Yeah, I like that one too. That was
Well,
that was our
but-
Look
Christmas.
how the whole podcast comes to like a grinding.
No. Like
we
the
all
point,
verify our dates.
okay, the point that I was
You
the
can
point
tell
that I
we're
was gonna
nerds
make-
because we have to measure our knowledge.
I disagree.
We all become that guy. No, you're wrong. You're
No,
wrong.
Yeah,
no,
I like-
just been
actually,
sat here like-
actually, Rob.
Professionals, we make money doing this. Yeah, no, you're not correct about that, sir. It was actually
was-
invented in 2002, and it was in 1990.
That was a definitive. That's a definitive sound. Actually, Rob.
It's just something in the
nobody
back
will
of our
actually do
minds.
But no, the point that I was making was this: like, there are more people that watch Gotham than there are people that read the comics. And if Gotham
Yes.
comes out and says, "Here's the origin story of the Joker," people are going to say, "Well, that must be the origin story."
They're gonna take it.
And
as
they're
gospel.
going to take it as gospel, which means that DC would have to effectively make that the origin in the comic.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why they killed him so early on. Because honestly, if you win a whole season, a lot of people are going to drop off mid-season. And
Yeah.
if the whole season you think that this is the Joker, and they reveal the big reveal at the end that he's not, too many people wouldn't be watching it.
Okay,
That
so
would be
this
hilarious.
Let's talk about the
officially
big problem too. that Gordon has already, in season 2, 3 episodes in, been able to deal with a Joker-level threat. Why do we need Batman?
You're 100% right about that. Like, literally, like, why... Gordon's already kicking ass this season.
Just throw a cape on him. There you go.
Like, maybe by the time Batman shows up, he's gone through multiple Joker-level events, and, like, Batman's, like, fresh and off the boat. Like, you could probably argue that, like, Gordon's just so browbeaten by life and other problems by Gotham. By the time Joker proper shows up, he's like, oh, no, I just
Whatever.
Okay, so
Also, can we start taking bets on Theo Galvin? He had a whole speech where it's like, and my family was written out of Gotham's history. I'm like, oh, so you're part of the Court of Owls, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've already said the Court of the Owls is showing up, so...
Yeah.
So it's gotta
really?
be. He's like, ooh, I'm a mystery villain. I could be anybody. I could be totally original. I'm like, no, you're not. You're from the comics. That's what the real reveal is going to be. Somebody or related to something.
This officially marks the 3rd time that I've been wrong. So
you keep a running tally.
I keep a running tally.
If you average against the average human, that's not bad.
Well, I've only ever been wrong twice before.
In your entire life.
Can I just say my favorite one of those times is the Scarlet Witch one? Where
Oh, that was a good one.
What was which one?
The one where I was like, yeah, there's been a Scarlet Witch series, and you're like, no, she had a series with Vision. She's never had her own series.
That's right.
And
I remember that.
No,
I don't remember that.
I can't let it be 4. I can't let it be 4.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I totally remember that. We recorded that episode. Let me pull it up.
No, I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
All right, moving on to the next
Actually,
topic, guys. Let's move on. There's 2 more topics I want to talk about, and we're running low on time here. What does everyone think about the portrayal of the Inhumans and Lash? Because honestly, in my opinion, I thought Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was great. I thought that first episode was incredible.
It was great.
I do not like how they made Lash look.
He
Lash
looks
looks like-
kind of hokey. He
looks like Blackheart from the Capcom versus Marvel game.
I mean, he looks like. I mean, okay. Given the budget of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he looks like what I would expect. But like,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Like if that's how he's gonna look in the show,
Yeah.
just mention him. Like, just say there's this guy that's killing Inhumans because he thinks they're too weak. Like,
Or like have
and
him
leave it at that.
or have like the aftermath and then save your money. Like every episode, you put a few thousand aside. So that at the season finale, Lash appears and he looks
Lash
amazing.
appears.
Although honestly, like when we saw Lash in the light, and then I looked at him and like looked at a page from like a recent comic he was in, I'm like, yeah, that kind of looks like Lash. I mean, like
he looks dead on the character. He just
it's
looks
too
really
bad.
hokey.
It's just yeah. I mean, they could have had what's his name, the guy who stomps on stuff, and had him break shit. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, you're right. Out of all the Inhumans that they wanted to go,
definitely
because they
that
obviously
classic
they obviously went for an Inhuman that looked different, looked
Yeah.
out there. So of all the ones they could have picked, thank God
someone new.
Yeah, thank God they went with Lash, and we didn't get like a giant CG Lockjaw.
Lockjaw's coming.
It was also really.
You're
good
gonna
call,
get that
too.
in the movie. They gotta save that for the movie. You gotta pay ticket money for Lockjaw.
Yeah. And that's why I think like bringing Lash in it's a good move. It's an extremely good move by Marvel in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And here's the reason why. People can say, well, it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the quality is kind of low, whatever.
Yeah.
They can put it off there. Like, if we had suddenly just seen a character like Lash in the Inhumans film, people would be like, well, this is weird.
And also the fact that
this
Lash,
is 0 to 60.
Lash is new and from the comics, and you can read about him right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they can,
Can I-
and what they're saying is basically the same thing. They're just like, I mean, because it's Inhumanity and Inhuman. Like, it's Charles Soule's run of the Inhumans. It's playing out in the show right now. And so it's easy to get on board. It's easy to hop in and say, okay.
And find a copy.
And find a copy.
I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I'm looking at a picture of this. And it kind of reminds me of, have any of you ever seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Yes.
There's the scene that Howl comes back from flying around as a bird, and he's kind of half changing into a human and half... He looks like that.
Yeah.
Like, I like the Lash costume. Here's the thing that got me. They show his feet, and he's clearly wearing normal people's shoes. When you become a monstrous Inhuman, you stop wearing normal people's
Hold on,
shoes.
he's wearing normal people's shoes?
Yeah, he was wearing, like, normal people's
He had
shoes.
Nikes on. Those product
funny.
Wearing Nike shots. All
For
this
me,
running, man. I gotta keep my feet
The
going.
most egregious part of the Lash appearance was actually how horrible the Playboy kid who plays Lincoln. How horrible Lincoln's powers looked for a long period of time. Like when he's shooting powers or whatever the fuck he has.
Electricity.
Electricity, it looked really bad. Like it looked like they asked us to do it in After Effects. And we were like, I guess this is what it looks like. And they're like, all right. And I'm like, you're holding on this for a long time. Like, where he and Daisy are just shooting powers at him. And I'm like, we could cut at any time, guys. You could do a shot of them maybe straining to use their powers, or Lash reacting to their powers. No. We're just looking at, like, this bad CG for a good, like, 30 seconds.
You know what it reminded me of?
I don't like Lincoln.
It looked like the Phantom.
You know what it reminded me of? It was like, oh man, we got to put Lash in the Care Bear stare. Everybody, shoot your powers at it.
Like no, our powers combine. I'm like, this is dumb.
But
also,
I
don't you like
say,
they're stretching Daisy's power towards like I can create earthquakes, I can also shoot earthquakes at you. Apparently.
But okay, I will say this.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he looks kind of goofy. But if they portray Lash in the show the same way he was in the comics,
but you know they would.
I'm gonna be hyped
because
that was the coolest thing about Lash is he was literally running up on people and was just like, "Yes, you're a new Inhuman. Yes, you just got your powers like 10 minutes ago, but I've deemed you weak." And like he just kills them and like.
He is Darwinism made flesh.
Darwinism made flesh.
Blue Blanca from the Street Fighter movie. That's the best one I've ever heard.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's kind of what I'm wondering with see, this is why I'm trying to reconcile this with like the upcoming Inhumans film. Because here's my question. Everything that's happening right now in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. happened long after the Inhuman royal family was established. Like, this is literally like Black Bolt blew up, set off the Terrigen bomb. Inhumans are cropping up everywhere. The Inhuman royal family's in disarray. Attilan's fallen. There's really no, like, all that.
That's when Lash showed up, because it was in disarray.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in the comics, that's when all that happened. My question is, the movie, how's that going to fit in? Now,
either it takes place further in the past, or it's all backstory.
That's exactly what I said. Like, that movie, I think, is going to be a prequel. It's going to be like, here's the Inhumans leading up to what's going on right now in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that kind of stuff. And as it spills over, because it will, as it spills over into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You know what would be interesting is if between now and when the Inhumans movie starts filming, if they get the rights to the Fantastic Four back, will they have the Fantastic Four feature in the background of this Inhumans movie? Because that's where that team works, in the background.
That would be beautiful poetic irony.
I would love
the Fantastic Four take a background seat to the Inhumans.
but we launched you guys. Yeah, well, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're the ones that made you guys famous. You know what, man? Just get out of here. All right.
You know what? It's clobbering time. Shut up.
and meanwhile, Black Panther's just sit there like, yeah, and I got my own movie, Ultima.
Which, by the way, like, I always imagine this. Like, I want to, like, just totally off topic. I want to see, like, a skit or something where, like, you have Ben Grimm the Thing on, like, Celebrity Jeopardy or something like that on SNL.
Yes.
And like he asks him a question he can't answer, and he's just like, it's clobbering time, and just starts ripping up.
Hey, just come on, guys, you love this, right?
Only Sean Connery can also be there.
Because we actually someone just brought us something, so we got 2 more topics to roll through. So 5 minutes on thoughts on Heroes Reborn.
Oh God, I'm so hyped.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It is so good. It's everything.
Sal, why aren't you watching?
Is it on?
It is. Oh yes, dude. It is everything that I hoped it would be. Oh my God.
I'm watching Muppets, Castle.
Yeah, Muppets.
Okay. Benny, was it just me, or were you just like that classic Heroes, oh my God moment when Zachary Levi was revealed to have been like, what's his name from the first season, the Exploding Man, the guy that could turn up, because you remember that from the first season,
right? Yeah.
The guy that could set off like nuclear bombs, like that's Zachary Levi, and like he's a guy that has like all this energy that basically like combusts and stuff. My thought is he's the one that blew up whatchamacallit and didn't realize it.
Oh no, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, no,
I think he's the one that blew up Odessa and didn't realize it was him, or either that or his mind was wiped, or something like that.
Well, I just want to know what the whole Noah thing is, and I really hope we don't go all 13 episodes and find out at the end.
Oh God, dude, I'd be so pissed. I'd rage. Like,
I quit Heroes halfway through season 3 and was amazed when I looked on Netflix that it went on for as long as it did.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was failing very bad by the time.
Oh yeah. Basically, watch season 1 and 2, and then just go to season 5. Jump
to season 5, and don't expect to see a majority of those people. Right. Which, by the way, I'm glad that they're not bringing those guys back. Like, I love Matt Parkman, probably one of my favorite characters. His power was awesome, and his dad was like the best display of what his powers could become. But I'm glad they're not bringing them back as like mainstay characters. Like, I like seeing fresh faces, and I think that was a really good call. Having said that, it's also a very smart decision to make this a mini-series, because I could see how this could go disastrously wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I can see how they could really screw this
Well,
up.
the problem with it before was they wanted to turn it into the Lost model. Like, we don't ever really need to fully explain things. Just keep going.
Let things go.
And that worked out great for Lost, didn't it?
Well, plus they had the writer's strike.
Let's not discuss Lost again.
No. But they had the whole writer's strike and everything. No, the Heroes Reborn is turning out pretty solid. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm really interested to see how it happens. I mean, obviously, like the whole, Eclipse is going to play a much bigger role, but I'm curious to see how all that comes together. So.
Okay, and the other one, and I have no information on this. I just heard it happened, but it's been too long. Like, I didn't check it. The new Justice League cartoon got announced.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Next year.
Justice League Animated.
It's going to be called JLA, Justice League Animated. Some people are terrified, though, because the hot new rumor around animation circles is that it's going to have the same animation style as that new Scooby-Doo show.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
I hope not.
What does that look like? Because why can't it be like Star Wars
like
Rebels?
garbage.
It looks like
terrible.
the first season of Family Guy. We talked about this on the newest episode of Comic.
Is that
Yeah, it looks
is that the Scooby-Doo show where John Cena turns up?
Oh, okay, no, that's actually that's better. That's the Brandon Vietti movies. No, I'm talking like the new Scooby-Doo show that's about to start. Be
there's a
Cool
new show.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh my God! If you look up Scooby-Doo 2015, what the heck is
Yeah,
this?
looks like early Family Guy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Here's the
does.
question. Does it look as
pitiful.
bad as any Marvel cartoon?
Oh God!
It looks a little worse. Yes, I mean
No,
like
oh, dude, you guys are so full of crap, dude. Those movies look amazing.
Why?
Dude,
is
like the Doctor Strange movie looks awesome.
no, he's talking like the new Marvel stuff, like Ultimate Spider-Man and like
Ultimate
whatever.
Spider-Man,
Oh, okay.
Avengers
I'm-
Assemble.
The
that
Guardians
was
of the
a
Galaxy
show.
looks good. I like the animation of Guardians of the Galaxy.
That
It's a
one
little
looks great.
better. It's a step up. They actually look like they gave a crap a little bit.
I'm not.
Well, they
talking
look
about
like the
any of those.
Guardians now. Like,
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about any of those. I just want to know why Velma looks like Meg from Family Guy.
Because
Like
it's
she's
basically
Meg.
the same art style.
Because she's gross. She wears sweaters and has glasses.
Yeah, it is funny about Velma.
and
If you look at it
glasses is
historically,
a
she got
weird
hotter and
thing.
hotter
Only
over
losers
time.
wear glasses, right,
Yeah.
Rob?
Man,
Yeah, I think
That's really
maybe
cool.
maybe the pop culture's hotness index for Velma needed to be rebooted. They were like, no, now she's just thin and has like crazy.
well, she's
Yeah.
a hipster.
Like
Yeah.
heck, in one of the live action movies they did with like them in high school, she was played by like a hot Asian chick, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, like Velma's a hipster. I thought
You
you
know,
guys knew that.
I would totally do it, Velma. I'm just saying.
Let's
throwing
not
it out
turn
there,
into that
guys.
show. We're not that show.
Oh, we're not comic book
totally
cast.
do
Oh,
Velma.
burn!
Yeah, if you want that stuff, you got to go listen to Comic Book Cast because we have no shame and we'll do that sort of stuff endlessly.
One thing I wanted to talk about before we call it a night is Civil War 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
What was that title I came up with? It just
Dude.
went on forever.
Dude, I posted on Twitter, and I was like, Civil War 2, like, I thought the sequel to Civil War was, and I posted every event
Every
Marvel
time.
had.
Right. That's
Like,
exactly what
I
they
was like,
were.
isn't that like, aren't they all follow-ups? Like, every last one of them is a
Yeah.
sequel to Civil War.
You know, and as I mentioned, politically, it makes a lot of sense right now. We're in an election year. There's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe they want to tap into that same kind of
No,
zeitgeist.
dude,
that
They
we
want to
don't
milk
see.
the freaking movie.
Okay,
Well,
they
and
can.
that.
Like, Civil War was lightning in a bottle, all right? They're not going to be able to duplicate that.
Well, the
Okay,
thing with the Civil
so-
War was this is before we had a lot of events of superheroes fighting. Now that's like
Yeah.
commonplace.
It
Like,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
Like,
forget
I'll
Civil
Civil
War
War
10
every
years
day.
ago.
Okay, I just want to read this for the chat. This was the title I came up with for this event. Civil War 2, Electric Boogaloo, the movie, the graphic novel, video track, TV movie, game comic.
That's exactly what it's going to be, too.
Civil
Yeah.
War 2, The Quest for Residuals.
No, it's going to be, like, the Civil War 2 is going to be a retcon of the original Civil War. And the Civil War 2 is going to be just
dude,
like Captain
all
America
all
Civil War.
Civil War 2 is going to be just like how they attempted to make Rage of Ultron right on
Into
top
Age
of
of Ultron. Yep, that's
Yeah, maybe
exactly
it's in
what they did.
continuity, maybe it's not. You know, it really just kind of depends on how Secret Wars plays out.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
before
see
the
my-
record, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but apparently now officially Rage of Ultron is in continuity.
It is
Yeah.
now.
Is it really?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. If you read the new Ant-Man, they're just like, yep, that's in continuity. That happened.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he died. Yeah, by the way, he left everything to you, Scott.
I like how they do that. I like how they're like, here's a story, you know, and then just like in the back panel of a last page of a comic that sold like 15,000 issues, they're like in continuity. And it's just like, really? It just kind of
literally
sneak it in there.
Well, it's to encourage us to get Marvel Unlimited, so in 6 months' time, we'll be able to figure stuff out for ourselves.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I guess maybe it has to do with the whole distributor thing, but why would you launch Marvel Unlimited and then say, like, here's a really great program, like a website that lets you read all the comics you want to read for $10 a month, except the stuff that you want to read. The new stuff.
But Marvel
If you wanna
Digital
read the
Comics
stuff from
hurt
the
my
70s,
eyes, I'm not
we've
gonna
got
lie.
you covered.
Yeah, like you want to see when Captain Marvel first showed up in like 1960 something. Do you want to read about when he died in 1982? Like,
None of that's in
definitely check
continuity,
those out.
especially now with their new reboot. But do you want to read it?
Right.
I mean, let's face it. For us, it's like a blessing. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's
true.
really easy to access.
Oh yeah, no,
like-
I've got Marvel Unlimited. I got like Comixology. I buy stuff all the time. I got.
But we need it for work. We wouldn't be able to do it without it.
Yeah,
It's all
if
right
I
also.
wasn't making YouTube videos about comic books, I wouldn't have Marvel Unlimited.
Oh no.
No.
All right, guys, and on that, we're gonna end the show because we've hit our allotted time limit of the day. I think
Nice.
we've hit all of our topics. Actually, I think it's the first time we've ever actually gone through all of the topics.
Yeah.
Booyah, go
It is
us.
kind of a surprise. All
Don't
new,
worry,
all
guys.
different
We
weekly
will be here next week. We took a couple of weeks off because there was nothing really going on, but now all the shows are started. The comics are coming out again. Me and Sal are going to be in New York ComiCon this weekend. Rob is being a little bitch about it and not showing up.
I'm going to a friend's wedding.
Rob's being a
Oh.
bitch about it. Faust is bitching out too. So it's me and Sal.
I'm filming a thing that I can't talk about. So
Me
And
and
I need a
Sal
passport,
and Eris over at Variant Comics are going to be doing the Valiant booth on Saturday at 11 a.m. We may try to do a meetup for people who don't have tickets because I know New York Comic Con sold out. Sal's pretty much going to have to find us a store because I tried Midtown and they said they're busy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're going to be in New York this weekend, guys. So if you want to meet up, we'll be around. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching us today. We will be here next week. Once we get back, we're going to be we're actually going to start doing everything properly, which includes more shows on this channel. We're going to start doing the website's getting a complete revamp. That's why a lot of us have kind of stopped posting on it because it is getting completely revamped. And a few other things are going on, but we are not going anywhere. Trust us. Once again, congratulations to Rob for 400K and congratulations to Faust for 100K. I don't know if we congratulated you last time, Faust. I know it's been like 3 weeks since you've been here, so.
It's like no.
So, and congratulations to Joel for 1,000 subs on Caped Joel.
Hey, it was 1,000 before. It's like 500 something, but you know, whatever. Hey, it's not a contest, and less what it is.
And also, while I'm at it, congratulations to Comic Pop for their 20,000 because I know we didn't
Thank you very
actually
much.
announce that on here. Don't worry,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
forgetting
true.
you.
Thank you.
So, and on that note, guys, we will see you later. There is not going to be an after show today because
Done.
I'm still,
We have to stop.
yeah, I'm still recovering. Like I'm
We
still
got
sick.
stuff like I still got
Like,
all the
all
titles to
the
go
power
over.
went off in Kentucky. Rob is now in the dark. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm completely in the dark.
He's running on generator power
generators.
right now.
My computer's still running somehow. It's magic.
A
I'm
bunch of
Inhuman.
hamsters just running around on wheels.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you soon right here at the Weekly Pull.
Peace.